When you talk about culture and just all the people that are involved in it, and I'm not, asking this question to have a Mike Babcock shitfest, but when all that stuff was coming about his coaching style, you came out and said that the Wings won in spite of him in 2008, lost because of him in 2009, and a lot of the controversy surrounded his, abuse or whatever you want to call it of players. And I think one of the most common retorts to his apologist was, well, Scotty Bowman was the same way. He played head games. He was a psychologist, but clearly you don't think they're comparable at all. What would you say to somebody who gave you that excuse for Babcock style behavior, or whatever you want to call it? And then how does that kind of place Scotty Bowman in the upper echelon, and just in terms of how he was able to not only be a great coach, be tough, but also be a great mentor and friend?
The easiest way to say it is that you didn't always agree with Scotty Bowman. In fact, you hated Scotty Bowman, but you never lost respect for Scotty Bowman because you knew at the end of the day it was about those championship rings. Because the more he had, the more people listened to him. And no matter what he did, and if it affected you personally or whatever, the betterment of the team, it was always just like I was talking about the crest. It was always about the championship and what was the best for the team. I can honestly say that I didn't. And when I say this, I have this experience that I get along with Mike Babcock. And when I say we won because of him in '08 and despite him in '09, and why don't I say that till this stuff comes out 10 years later, which the stuff that makes me upset, I wasn't there for. I retired in '09. This is 12-13 with what Shelley said about the abuse of Franzen or the mental. But Scotty would never attack you personally. And Babcock would. He's one of those belittling guys. Now, I never had a problem with it because he pretty much, when I came back, I was there for the dressing room for the guys and the role to fit in and play. And it wasn't like that, but, I say because of him is because of I disagree with the way that he played the guys. I always say Mike Babcock's the greatest X's and O's video preparation coach. Stats, I love stats. You're all prepared like that. And you know what? Scotty Bowman was absolutely, your video might be 2 minutes. You better know what you're doing, everybody else, but his impeccability of feel for the game and knowing what to do and when to switch lines or who to do whatever, you always trusted Scotty because you respect him. And then I couldn't say that about Babcock because, and I will honestly, I've said this, he's the most egotistical person that I've ever met. And I don't understand that because like I said, I played with so many Hall of Famers that when guys that are allowed to be that way don't act that way, and then you act that way, I don't have respect for that because of not how you treat me, but how you treat other people. I always call it the way I see it. And you know what? But the stuff that happens after, it could explain to me why I can make that statement.
So I don't want to put you on the spot, though. I don't think
you're gonna.
Yeah, no, I don't think you'll give a shit about. Yeah, like
no. Here's the thing, and this I tell everybody else: don't be afraid to say whatever you want, but make sure you're ready to back it up. And I always say, enjoy my truth. You can ask me any question, and if I don't feel comfortable answering, I'll tell you why. And that's the whole thing: is that you can tell me no, but tell me why. And I'll, respect it or give me a reason. I learned that in talking with my kids, or I would know, but this is why, because it's not a good idea. And it's the conversation of it. So feel free to ask me anything.
Okay. So then I was going to ask do you see a way that Babcock will get another coaching job in the NHL now, given how everything is going with social media and shit? Because, I mean, it still makes complete sense to me that he's one of the best coaches of all time, that he would get another shot in the NHL.
Here's the thing, and this is coming from a person that isn't the same person he was 20 years ago or the same person he was 5 years ago when he got sober and stuff like that. People are allowed to change. Now, I think that if he shows that if some of the things if his operating procedures different and he figures out a new way, does he deserve another chance? I believe he does if he's changed. But if he's going to go in there and do the same thing and try to, I don't agree. I'm an old school guy, right? I mean, I came up with, like you could get the stuff you did to us, you wouldn't get away with nowadays. I mean, you could like physically, get hit or, verbally abused or different things like that. But as the game evolves and as life evolves, well, things are a little bit more sensitive, so you have to change your tactics. So, yeah, I believe that Mike Babcock X's and O's and his practices are better than games, bro. Like, I mean, there's nothing and I always call it like I see it. So, I mean, he'd be one of the guys that like, as far as like the way that he does the videos, does the game preparation, does all that stuff, I'm taking a page out of Mike Babcock's book, not Scotty Bowman's book.
Yeah.
But I'm absolutely taking all of Scotty Bowman's book from behind the bench. And you know what? Like it's just because because Scotty and like Scotty was such a great. We played mind games all the time, but there was a reason. He had a method to his madness. It's because he was the greatest. Because he had rings on all his fingers. So you listen. Jimmy D said that. It's true.